presents Hockey Week, an inside look at all the action of the NHL. I'm Mike Emmerich. Coming up, a returning Eric Lindros tells the NHL he's here, and old St. Nick brings plenty of holiday cheer. Next edition. There is no question that the Philadelphia Flyers are a better team with emerging superstar Eric Lindros in their lineup. The 20-year-old center has superior skills.
Over the line again. Michael Renberg, cross ice. Hagen, centered one. Hextall can't stop that. The big guy, Eric.
A healthy Eric Lindros has returned to the Flyers and has teamed up again with Mark Recchi. Add to that Brent Fedek, and the Crazy Eight will ride again.
Lindros, Recchi, and Fedek for Philadelphia. Recchi on the puck. Leaves it for Lindros. Score! Eric Lindros.
It's great to have him in the lineup. He's a great player. He's a great asset to me. I'm a passer and he's a shooter. And, I usually give it to him and he puts it in.
They've got Lindros ahead of the field. Recchi going in and then mishandles for Lindros. Score!
We do understand, some of the basic areas about where we're going to be. But I don't even think that we've played that well as a line yet. So, wait till that happens. The pucks are going in the net, but it's just not as smooth as I think it can be.
There goes Lindros. He's got his man Recchi. Shot. Score! Recchi from Lindros.
The line strikes again.
A dominant player in his own right, Mark Recchi is the NHL's third leading scorer. That means big-time status and the big-time ticket that goes with it.
I got the respect of the management, the Flyers organization, and my teammates, and they've given me a contract for the next 6 years, and they've made a commitment to me, and it's made me feel really good. And, it's something I feel very comfortable with.
The Flyers are very comfortable with Michael Renberg. He's 21 from Sweden and a genuine Rookie of the Year candidate.
You talk about a kid that is meeting expectations and really living up to the advanced publicity. It's Michael Renberg.
He's such a powerful skater, and it's what makes him feel really, he really sticks his nose into things.
Hammerlich to Cole. That wrist shot is blocked, and Renberg has a break at center. He's got great speed in the clear. Renberg scores! And it's 3-2 for the Flyers.
He can really dance like that. I mean, his legs are, they're built like tree trunks. They're absolutely huge, and they really allow him to get fired up and to really create some openings and a lot of ice for the rest of that to get the play.
One of the guys Renberg gets to play with is his center, Vyacheslav Butsayev. Slava teams up nicely with his Swedish winger.
Butsayev and him are both, you get them out there in the ice, they're both big guys, and they can move, they can both skate.
Both of us is from Europe, so we kind of understand each other very good on the ice, so it's been good to play with him.
And then down flying that left side goes Butsayev in front. They score! Hot trick! Slava Butsayev!
Add to all that talent the likes of a Rod Brindamore and a Joseph Veronic, and it's no surprise that the Flyers have scored more goals than any other team in the league. But what might be a surprise is the strong offensive role being played by defenseman Gary Galley. The G-man is averaging a point a game.
I'm not sure he's changed the style of play, but maybe he's being used differently. Like, we use him as the offensive defenseman. He plays a lot in the offensive situations.
Look at Gary Galley. What a lot of ice time. It was his feed to Eric Lindros.
Descend de Eklund, la passe à Recchi, à Galley, son tir et le but! Eh bien, les tirs hauts pour M. Racicot. Là, c'était seulement le troisième tir au but, un deuxième but pour les Flyers.
In his first year as coach of the Flyers, Terry Simpson has to be happy with his team's performance, but there are concerns. Defenseman Dmitry Yushkevich is emblematic of a young and willing group of blueliners who are still learning on the job. The Flyers would dearly love to cut down their goals against. So would goaltender Dominic Roussel. Roussel has 16 victories, but everybody knows the defense in front of him has to tighten up.
I guess we were told if you look at the top 10 teams in the league at the end of the year, 8 of them are going to have the best goals against average. So that's something that we definitely have to pick up on.
We realize that we have to play solid defense to win games. I mean, I think we can score goals. It's just a matter of, stopping that.
It's just a matter of bringing everything together at once. Then if you get that accomplished, it's a matter of keeping it together.
Eric Lindros is back, and the Flyers are fast developing. This is a team to keep an eye on. Now it's time for the Alka-Seltzer Plus Plus Minus Award update. When you got a cold and you got to get relief, you got to get Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold Medicine. Still the one. That's Frank Musil of the Calgary Flames. The Flames have the best goal differential in the Pacific Division, and that has a lot to do with Big Frank's steady defensive play. At Christmas time, the Flames lead their division, and Frank Musil leads the race for the Alka-Seltzer Plus Plus Minus award. At this time of year, every team holds a holiday skate for the players and their families. The one on Long Island recently was especially nice. Brian Mullen, who suffered a stroke over the summer, returned to the ice with his beautiful family.
When everything first happened to me, it was so devastating. I didn't know really what a stroke meant or entailed, what I'd be able to do in the future. And first thing I said was I wanted to skate with my family at the Christmas party.
Mullen's recovery has been remarkable, but he's still trying to strike a balance between optimism and sensible caution.
The doctor was telling me from day one that I'd be able to play in the playoffs, but it's just starting to sink in now that that goal is very attainable now.
At this time of year or any other, there's no nicer story in hockey. Get set for a special edition, Top 5 Saves of the Year.
It's dragged out of there by Turgeon. 2-on-1 with Thomas. Back goes Kramer. Turgeon in deep to Thomas. Oh, what a stop by Blue. Wow, that shot directly off the face mask of John Blue.
Tries to feed in front, fails to, and Lume clears it out. Bure after, he's got a breakaway. Bure moves in, fake, shoots. Oh, what a save by Joseph on Pavel Bure. Pass all the way back to center ice, intercepted Seamack with Holik. Bobby Holik in on Wah, and Wah blocked it, rebound, knocked it between his legs, and makes a save with a glove.
This is one of those ones. Just watch.
You gotta be kidding.
This is King, back to Kerber. The Molotov fires, the rebound. Oh, just can't get it by Barrasso. Wow. I'm not so sure whether it was a save. It happened so quickly. What a reflex move by Tom Barrasso. With Borsato, the crisscross to the line. Next move by Jamrock, Blenderman. Here's Borsato over the net. Great save by Grant Pierre, who got his glove out and took a sure goal away from Luciano Borsato. Yeah, I think that one will make plays of the week.
That could be the save of the year.
Now, Brute presents the check of the week. Brute, men are back. Speaking of back, Philadelphia's Eric Lindros is back, and he's all business. Stay tuned.
Team is on with Corey Millen and Randy McKay. Big against Slava Fetisov.
12 weeks ago, the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim launched their season at Disneyland. Everyone knew they were in for something of a roller coaster ride, as any expansion team would be. But there was also some concern about ending up all wet. Yet it appears that the Ducks are already home and dry. The Arrowhead Pond is full of surprises.
You name it, I've almost seen everything here, and this is my 7th year pro, but I'm just starting to see things here now.
What Ron Tugnut meant was show business spectaculars, the likes of which really have never been seen in a hockey rink before. Opening night was a prime example.
I think opening night was, a big show. It was something that everyone wanted to see, There's lineups outside trying to get in. There's enough press here to watch like a Super Bowl game or something, They're just packed.
Opening night on October 9th saw more than 17,000 fans fill the pond to watch the debut of Ron Wilson's club. That lucky group got to see the first ever goal in the history of the Mighty Ducks.
Holder cruises in, lets one go. The save by Ing, the rebound. They score! Sean Hill!
Sean Hill's second period goal was the highlight of the night. The rest of the game pretty much belonged to the Detroit Red Wings, who sailed to a comfortable 7-2 win. No one was terribly surprised by that kind of score, but what was fast becoming a shock was the complete success the Ducks were having off the ice. The merchandising of the Mighty Ducks has been nothing short of phenomenal. You might say that there's something to fit the bill for everyone. And speaking of bills, there are plenty of ways to spend them. There are the usual T-shirts and hats, but oh, what an array beyond that. The Disney touches everywhere.
The NHL always had core hockey fans in every marketplace that were interested in the sport. What we've done because of the movie more than anything else, and the name tie-in, and the creativity behind the colors and the design of the logo, is brought a whole new marketplace and a whole new awareness out there of hockey. And we see it happening in the Orient. We see it happening in Europe. It's pretty much all over. I mean, we get requests from all over the world for our merchandise product.
But no matter what, you still can't get away from that product on the ice. And sure enough, in the true spirit of Jiminy Cricket, dreams can come true. In the third game of the season, the Ducks found themselves handling the Edmonton Oilers.
Sit over the line. Here's James. Wide, faking a shot, looking down the middle. But they score!
The Ducks jumped out to a 4-0 lead against the Oilers and held on to make some more history.
Centers out front. It's played out the zone. It's hockey history. It's hockey history at the pod.
There's nothing quite like a franchise's first win. But a week later, the Ducks were in for a close runner-up. Playing the first road game in its history at New York against the Rangers, Anaheim came up a winner. The Ducks shocked the Rangers 4-2. A pattern was begun that has carried through to the present. The Mighty Ducks are especially mighty on the road.
When we're at home, I think maybe we try to impress our fans a little bit too much instead of just playing our style of hockey, which is a road game, stump and chase. And if we're not dumping the puck in and going in and banging and trying to get it back, we're not playing our game.
Proof that the Ducks could take their act on the road came on a November swing through Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, and Winnipeg.
It was kind of funny. We went into every game on that road trip like, wow, we could go on this road trip. This is a tough road trip. Not many teams make it through these.
Newendijk gives way, far corner, out of the corner, look out, flurry, shot, saved by Hebert! Long shot, score! The Mighty Ducks of Anaheim have pulled off their record-setting fourth straight victory as Stu Grimson gives Rod Tugnutt a well-deserved bear hug.
It was rewarding for me as a coach and in particular to our players. They really got a charge out of that.
On a recent December road trip, the Ducks won 3 out of 5. Goaltending was huge. Both Ron Tugnutt and Guy Hebert are taking care of business. There is no #1 man in goal.
Well, I think what's happened with Guy and I is that we're kind of playing off each other. I think that when he's played well, he's kind of forced me to play well and vice versa.
That recent road trip included what was the most remarkable game the Ducks have played. A 1-0 shutout victory with Hebert in net over Toronto at Maple Leaf Gardens. The trip ended in Winnipeg in amazing fashion. The Jets took a 3-1 lead, but Anaheim responded with 6 straight goals en route to a 7-5 win. Make no mistake, the Mighty Ducks are a success.
When we put this team together, we said we wanted to be the most successful franchise, expansion franchise in the history of the NHL, and that remains our goal. We'd like to be within 4 years to have a Stanley Cup contender.
And remember, when you wish upon a star, anything is possible. Now it's time for Teamwork, a Better Way, brought to you by Glidden, a better way to paint. There's nothing like a 2-on-1. Watch as Oleg Petrov works it with Matthew Schneider.
2-on-1 with Schneider. Oleg Petrov, Schneider. Petrov scores! Hat-trick goal! His first in the NHL. The Canadians work a perfect 2-on-1.
Petrov to Schneider, back to Petrov. That's teamwork. That's a better way. But we know how much you enjoy it when through the tapes we comb. So we thought we'd bring you the stories of those who often roam. Let's hear all the tales as the boys describe their first Christmas away from home.
I lived with Joe Sorella my first year, and we had a Christmas tree, and what we had for Christmas ornaments were, old socks and dirty socks, and we hung them on the tree and a few lights, and that was about it. We gave one another a gift, and that was about it. We had to wait for our parents to bring the rest down.
I spent Christmas in Leningrad, and it was difficult, but I think you're with your team. I was playing for Junior Team Canada at the time, and with a bunch of guys that were in the same situation. So I didn't get to phone home or anything, but I was gone about a month, and I was happy to get back, that's for sure.
Well, I remember, I think the first time I went from home was when I was 18 playing the World Junior Championships, and the tournament was in Leningrad, Russia. And on Christmas Day, we took an 8-hour bus ride from Finland to Leningrad in a cramped Russian train. So it was, needless to say, it was not the most pleasant Christmas. It was definitely one of those ones where you really missed everyone back home.
My second year pro. My second year in Vancouver, we didn't have enough days, and we played, I guess, up in LA somewhere, and we couldn't come back home for Christmas. So it's a bit of an empty feeling.
I remember it real well. It was in Edmonton in 1979, and Mark Messier's family had invited myself and a few other guys over, and we had never been to his parents' place. So it was in a little town just outside of Edmonton. And we were invited over for 8 o'clock, and we showed up around 1 o'clock in the morning because it took us 5 hours to find the place. And if you know Edmonton and that part of Alberta, it's not that big of a place. So needless to say, we had a good time. We eventually got there and enjoyed our Christmas.
I don't really remember.
Oh, on Christmas Day? I don't think I ever have been.
Amazingly enough, I've never missed a Christmas at home.
Only once that I've actually had to leave the house on Christmas Day, and it was while I was at Notre Dame. There was a big series coming up, I think 2 or 3 days after Christmas, and we had to be back Christmas night. In fact, I remember clearly a couple of the guys from Minnesota pushed the limit and expected the weather to actually be good between Minnesota and South Bend, and arrived substantially late.
I tried out for the World Junior team, and they were going over to Europe. And I didn't make the team that year, so my consolation was that I stayed home for Christmas.
I was 18, and I was just got called up by Detroit Red Wings. That's who I was drafted by, and I played as an 18-year-old for them. And I was in the Pontchartrain Hotel in Detroit all alone, so it was quite a traumatic Christmas day for myself.
That's a fast one, but I do remember my first year in the National Hockey League, going to Chicago and playing Christmas Day there. The reason I remember it is because we happened to win, and we sang Christmas carols on the way back to the charter going home that night.
I was in Moscow in 1987 for the World Junior Championships, and it was strange. It was pretty lonely. I played cards in my room with a couple other guys. Wayne McBean, actually. I played cards with Wayne McBean and a couple other guys on the team, and we sang Christmas carols, so it was kind of neat.
My first time, I was 20 years old. I was playing in LA. I woke up Christmas morning in a big house all by myself with nowhere to go. It's a sad story.
It was World Juniors. I was 16. We're in, I think it was Finland, Helsinki. I don't know, it was 23 of us that were away. Sat around and ate reindeer meat. I don't know.
Well, the one that sticks out in my mind is when I was 17 years old. I was playing for the World Junior team, the World Junior Championships in Winnipeg and in Minnesota. They split it that year. That was in 1980, 81. And we were away for Christmas. The only good thing about that was we won the gold medal. My brother scored the winning goal against Czechoslovakia in the final game.
God, you go back, I was probably in college, and I got left on campus because my family went away for Christmas, and so I ended up staying home because basically I was at home anyway, and I ended up being the only person on the entire campus Christmas night.